On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I transfer my paper patterns over to my pattern material. Stay tuned. So here we have Weaver's pattern material. It is, it's pretty thick, very doable, but it's very easy to cut. So I called the folks up at Weaver and I got their tote bag pattern. Kind of like that, so I'm going to be transferring their pattern. Hey, sticker! Bonus! So I'm going to be transferring their pattern over to this pattern material today. Anything else in there? Oh, it's a nice tube. Set that off to the side here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, all right. Nice paper. All right, well, we'll start with the big piece here. Let's see what we got. This is quite big. Well, all right. Well, the first thing I do is I tape mine down. Okay, so we're just going to use some plain old masking tape to tape this down. And I like using masking tape because it's, once you lay it down, you can actually see through it. So we're just gonna, whoop, well, now I broke my tape. That's all right, it won't hurt anything. Just go ahead and lay that down there. Start with a new piece. It helps if you use quality masking tape, but I just use the cheap stuff. And I line it up with the edges, and there we go. We got that edge down. What I like to do is just I leave just a little bit of space over here, and I just put a little piece of tape there, kind of holding it down flat. I want to make sure that I'm nice, flat, and level. It's a big key. There we go. Get down there. Run that to length. I just gently lay that down there. All right. I'll do the same thing to the top side. Put a little piece of tape up there in the corner. And slide this back a little bit. Get everything lined up. Just lay that down there. That way we don't have any wrinkles. You don't want no wrinkles. There. Nice and flat. Now all we gotta do is just take and cut it out. Now I'll get my craft knife out, and I just put a little rouge on the back of an old scrap piece of leather. Just give that a few swipes. That way I got a nice sharp knife. You should use a brand new blade, but I know this is fairly new, so I'm just going to use it. Now you can freehand these if you need to. This is a pretty big pattern. so I think I'm going to use a ruler with it. And being this is so slick, I'm going to use a little square for these little ones. It's got non-slip tape on the back of it, and you can line them up real nice. And this material is nice. You can just score it basically. And if you give it a nice score the first time around, just like that. Now your second cut will follow that first score pretty decent. And you can go right on through it, and you'll know when you get through it. And we'll do the same here. Go. Be careful not to overshoot your cut. You can always turn around and come back the other way with it. Need a whole lot there, just a touch. And we'll do the same thing to the top side. Okay, so we're going to mark these rivet holes here. And get them right where you want them. And I just punch it right through that plastic material. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'll cut the rest of these out, and when I come back, we'll have a pattern cut. Okay, well now we have this one cut out. Now this paper pattern is still good, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Even though we do have a hard copy, this is already cut out, and we can use this later on if we choose to do so. But now we have a nice pattern that we can reuse over and over and over again to make whatever, however many we need. So let's see what the next piece of this pattern is. What do we have? A 9x10 tote pocket, 3/4 inch by 31 inch strap. We probably won't make that whole thing. Being that really all we're going to be after is the holes. So I think what I'll do is I'll just take one of these pieces, since we got one left, some left here. It's right about 3/4 of an inch. But what I'll do is I'll just mark the holes out on it. So I have the spacing, which we can see right through there. And I always make them a little bit longer when I'm doing stuff like this because I like to put pieces of tape on it. And you can see these roto cutters go right through this stuff like butter. So now we have, we'll just set that piece up on there, line it up right on the end, nice and square, like that. And then we'll go ahead and mark the holes. Just like that. I will get my punch board here. I will make those a little bit bigger, just so I have them. Now what I'll do is I like to take a piece of tape and we'll just lay that on there. Fold the edges over, it won't hurt a thing. So we're going to mark on here. We're going to make this a tote pattern strap. And we need them 3/4 inches by 31 inches. And we need 2 of them. So forgive my writing, it is sloppy, but now I know what that piece is for. And I don't have my markers out here, which I should, but I took them into the house. But what I'll do is I'll circle these holes right here so I know that that's where, you know, a rivet or, you know, a snap or whatever will go through there, whatever, however you want to attach your straps to the bag. All right, so now we're taped up, nice and wrinkle free. Gotta love that. Now let's get a ruler that will go across the whole thing. Like that. Okay. So now I need to turn this around because I always like to cut with my right. Lay that out. When we get this lined up, I'm going to use the roto cutter. I'll show you just how easy it goes through. Now I like my craft knives, but these roto cutters are, and I'm not trying to take a whole lot. I'm not pushing real hard. Just enough to score it the first time. I'll get this scrap out of the way here. Okay. Like I said, I don't push very hard. It's just enough to score it the first time around. And we'll flip this around. Line up the edges. And you'll see that it doesn't take very much to get through them. Oops. Whoop. Before I cut them other two, forgot to mark my holes. You have to forgive me here. There we go. Okay, now we can go ahead and chop off the sides. Make sure you get lined up just perfect. And there we have it. Okay. Now, to mark this fold line, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to score the edges with a craft knife. Just like that. So now I have a line in there. And everywhere holes marked. I wish I really had my markers. But that gives you a nice straight score line according to the pattern. So now we need to mark this piece. So we'll grab the old trusty masking tape. Just lay a couple pieces down there so we got a big enough area to write on. And this is 10" by 14" tote pattern, inside pocket. Now that I don't have, since I don't have my markers, we'll just improvise and we'll use pieces of tape here. And I will mark with an arrow fold line. There we go. Now I know it'll be hard for you guys to see that, but did mark that up. Let's see if I can get to the top there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I have it right at that arrow is a little score. Just enough to, so when you do lay it on there, you can slide the pattern up, give yourself a little mark. Now this is the inside pocket, so nobody's really going to see it. You know, when you go ahead and put it together. Okay, like I said, I won't destroy this because this is a perfectly good paper pattern. We can always retrace this, and this is, Weaver gives you a pretty good heavy-duty cardstock paper. So I'm not going to definitely destroy these by no means. I'm going to keep them for future. And now we'll go to the next piece here. Now, you really don't have to make a pattern for this. This is just a standard 9 by 10 piece. But for the sake of video, we'll go ahead and make one. Like I said, give ourselves just a nice little bit of room to work with. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll trim the top here a little bit. There we go. So let's get some scraps moved out of here. Throw the paper away. Now that took almost a full sheet. There's very little left of that full sheet from Weaver, but I do have some extra from a previous pattern here underneath. And that'll give us enough to make the 9 by 10. So you want to just repeat the process. We're going to get it right in the corner, tape it down, and cut it out. So I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, we've got everything cut out, transferred over to our pattern material. So now I have patterns that I can reuse over and over and over again and never have to worry about it, and it'll be consistent. Well, there you have it. That's how I transfer all my paper patterns. Let me know in the comments down below if you used another material. And if this content today gave you any value, click the little like button down there for me. It'll help me out. So we'll see you again on the next one. This is Stephen Lutz with Lutz's Leathercraft.